Okay, ma'am.
Good morning. Welcome to our community conference scheduled for today for second projects. And to start, may I request everyone to please stand for the prayer.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering us here today for this pre-bidding conference. We acknowledge your guidance and wisdom in every step of our work, especially as we discuss and evaluate matters concerning our civil works projects. Grant us clarity of mind, integrity, and fairness in our deliberations.
May every word we speak and every decision we make reflect honesty, transparency, and a genuine desire to serve the public good.
Bless all participants, the members of the Bids and Awards Committee, the technical working groups, the secretariats, and our prospective bidders. May this conference be conducted in an orderly, productive, and meaningful manner, leading to successful projects that benefit our communities. We entrust this meeting to you, Lord. Guide us in upholding righteousness and accountability in all that we do. All these we ask in your mighty name. Amen.
Thank you, everyone. In behalf of our bank chair, who is an official of business, I am presiding this pre-bidding conference. And to start with, I request our secretariat to please call for the attendance.
So kindly say present when your name is called. Joseph Cacho,
Present.
Emilio Marie, present. Grace Elena Cabalan,
Present.
Mary Noe Mercedes,
Present.
Divino Aimee,
Present.
Virgo Machuelo, present. Charmaine Uy, Michelle Subilon,
Present.
Rosas Marie Balistoy, present. Sakdalan Amir, present. Irma Maria Angilan, William May Duroy,
Present.
Gilbert Sabandal, present. And Jason Lumay. So for this pre-bidding conference, we have a total of 14 attendees with no representative from the interested leaders and 3 out of 5 bank members present for this morning pre-bidding conference. Back to the bank vice chair.
Thank you, Mayor and Angilan. Once again, welcome to our pre-bidding conference this Saturday, May 2026 for 7 civil works projects. The civil work projects, namely, with contract ID number 26HA0024 for construction completion of multipurpose building covered court at Barangay Rizal, Catigbian, Bohol, with coordinates 9.871214508837 and 123.983333201566. And for contract ID, second project number 26HA0025 for the construction completion of multipurpose building covered court Barangay Rosario, Cortes, Bohol, with coordinates 9.746880N and 123.931548. Third project 26HA0026 for the construction completion of multipurpose building covered court Barangay Jandig, Maribojoc, Bohol, with coordinates 9.75242 and 123.84618. Fourth project 26HA0027 for the construction completion of multipurpose building fire station Tagbilaran City, Bohol, with coordinates 9.65379226830238 and 123.8644354284642. Fifth project, we have 26HA0028 for the construction completion of multipurpose building covered court Barangay Bagtic, Catigbian, Bohol, with coordinates 9.84296271839134 and 124.057070949368137. Sixth project 26HA0029 for the construction of multipurpose building covered court Barangay Quinapon-an, Barangay Angilan, Barangay Tagubaas, and Barangay Bicahan, Antequera, Bohol, with the following coordinates for Quinapon-an 9.82747 north and 123901368E. For Angilan 9.780011N and 123.93 32471E. For Tagubaas, we have 9.785732 and 123.881446, and Bicahan 9.792199N and 123.923287E. For the seventh project, 26HA0030 for the construction completion of multipurpose building covered court at Barangay Angilan, Barangay Tagubaas, and Barangay Barangay Bohol, with the following coordinates: for Angilan, 9.68957849259037 and 123.90727825799573. Tagubaas, 9.67147847034579, 123.94690932184155, and Pandol, 9.70917423230978 and 123.92754161151095. For General Operations Act, the 2026 projects are for issuance of SARO, open close parenthesis, the SARO status. The procuring entity shall not award the contracts for procurement projects until the special allotment release order, SARO, has been issued, secured, or released. For brief presentation and explanation of the following, which contains the basic contract data, requirements of bidding documents, criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award, and the documents to be submitted by the bidders. For the basic contract data, contract description, ABC, and duration, we turn over our time to the representative of the Planning and Design Section, Engineer Aimee David.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And for the details and scope of work of the said project, first project with contract ID 26HA0024, project titled Construction Completion of Multipurpose Building Covered Court Barangay Rizal, Catigbian, Bohol, with coordinates of 9.87121450883367 123.98333201566. Project location in Catigbian, Bohol, with project duration of 60 calendar days. This project has an allocation of 2 million with approved budget of the contract of 1,980,000. And for the scope of work of this project, we have facilities. First is provision of field office for the engineer rental basis, 2 months. Operation and maintenance of field office for the engineer, 2 months. And for project billboard signboard, 2 each. For occupational safety and health, mobilization and demobilization, these items have 1 lump sum quantity. For our earthworks, we have structure excavation, soft rock 11 cubic meter, embankment from roadway structure excavation, soft rock 7.5 cubic meter, gravel field 0.3 cubic meter. And for our reinforced concrete works, we have structural concrete 3000 PSI class A, 28 days, 4.8 cubic meter. Reinforcing steel deformed grade 40, we have 258.7 kilograms. Reinforcing steel deformed grade 60, 614.4 kilograms. For formworks and false works, we have 29.8 square meters. For our miscellaneous hardwares, we have metal structure accessories 1 lump sum, metal structure accessories turnbuckle 24H, metal structure accessories cross bracing 236.9 kilograms, metal structure accessories steel plates, we have 748.8 kilograms, structural steel 1 lump sum, structural steel trusses, we have 4,238.5 kilograms. Structural steel purlins, we have 1,045.5 kilograms. And for our roofing works, we have fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 26.551 mm, flashing 21 linear meter. Fabricated metal roofing accessory H 24.701 mm gutters, we have 21 linear meter. Pre-painted metal sheets about 0.427 mm corrugated long span, 285 square meter. And for our painting works, we have painting works steel, 442.9 square meters. And that's all for this project. Let's proceed to the next project, 25HA0025, with the project title of Construction Completion of Multipurpose Building Covered Court, Barangay Rosario, Cortes, Bohol, with coordinates of 9.74680 north, 123.93154 east, and the project location is in Cortes, Bohol. For the project duration, we have 120 calendar days. This project has an allocation of 4 million and approved budget of the contract is 3,960,000. And for the scope of work, we have for the facilities of engineers, we have provision of field office for the engineer rental basis, operation and maintenance of field office for the engineer. Those items are 4 months of quantity. And for permits and clearances, 1 lump sum. Project billboard signboard, 2 each. Occupational safety and health and mobilization, demobilization. These items are in 1 lump sum. For earthworks, we have structure excavation hard rock, 53.10 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway structure excavation hard rock, 25.88 cubic meter. Gravel field, 3.5 cubic meter. For reinforced concrete works, we have structural concrete, 3,000 PSI, class A, 28 days, 16.6 cubic meter. Reinforcing steel deformed rate 40, 2,429.5 kilograms. Formworks and false works, we have 112.4 square meters. And for miscellaneous hardwares, we have metal structure accessories, 1 lump sum. Metal structure accessories, turnbuckle, 48 each. Metal structure accessories cross bracing, 577.9 kilograms. Metal structure accessories steel plates, we have 1,556.6 kilograms. Structural steel, 1 lump sum. Structural steel trusses, 8,123.7 kilograms. Structural steel purlins, 1,756.4 kilograms. And for our roofing works, we have fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 26.550 mm flashing, 74.6 millimeter. Pre-painted metal sheets above 0.427 mm corrugated long span, 377.4 square meter. And for our painting works, the last item for this contract, painting works steel, 869.4 square meters. And for our third project, we have 26HA0026 with the project title of Construction Completion of Multipurpose Building Covered Court, Barangay Jandig, Maribojoc, Bohol, with coordinates of 9.75242 and 123.84618. The project location is in Maribojoc, Bohol, with the project contract duration of 120 calendar days. And for this contract, we have an allocation of 4 million with an approved budget of the contract of 3,960,000. And for the scope of work, we have provision of field office for the engineer rental basis and operation of and maintenance of field office for the engineer. Ang kanang mga item is in 4 months na quantity. Permits and clearances, 1 lump sum. Project billboard, 2 each. Occupational safety and health mobilization and demobilization. Those items are in 1 lump sum. For earthworks, we have structure excavation hard rock, 47.3 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway structure excavation hard rock, 23.2 cubic meter. Gravel field, 3.4 cubic meter. And for our reinforced concrete works, we have structural concrete 3,000 PSI, class A, 28 days, 17.4 cubic meter. Reinforcing steel deformed, grade 40, 2,577.4 kilograms. Formworks and false works, 120.6 square meters. Miscellaneous hardwares, we have metal structure accessories, 1 lump sum. Metal structure accessories turnbuckle, 48 each. Metal structure accessories cross bracing, 559 kilograms. Metal structure accessory steel plates 1,627.9 kilograms. Structural steel 1 lump sum. Structural steel trusses 8,575.8 kilograms. Structural steel purlins 1,772.2 kilograms. And for our roofing works, we have fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 26.551 mm flashing 17 millimeter. Pre-painted metal sheets above 0.427 mm corrugated span 368.3 square meters. And for the last item, we have painting work steel 883.2 square meters. And for our fourth projects, we have 26HA 0027. We have construction completion of multipurpose building, fire station, Tagbilaran City, Bohol, with coordinates of 9.65379226830238 and 123.86443542284643. The location is in Tagbilaran City with the contract duration of 120 calendar days. This project has an allocation of 2 million and approved budget of the contract of 1,980,000. And for the scope of work, we have provision of field office for the engineer rental basis of operation and maintenance of field office for the engineer. We have 4 months each kada scope of work, item. Permits and clearances 1 lump sum. Project billboard signboard 2 each. Occupational safety and health mobilization, demobilization 1 lump sum for each item. Structure for earthworks, structure excavation hard rock 8.1 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway structure excavation hard rock 3.7 cubic meter. Gravel field 0.4 cubic meter. And for our reinforced concrete works, we have structural concrete 3,000 psi class A 28 days 3.4 cubic meter. Structural concrete 4,000 psi class A 28 days 16.2 cubic meter. Lean concrete 0.3 cubic meter. Reinforcing steel deformed weight 2,553.4 kilograms. Reinforcing steel deformed weight 62,059.2 kilograms. Formworks and false works, we have 137 square meters. And also we have carpentry and joinery works, wall 6 mm metal frame fiber cement board 21 square meters. For finishing works, we have waterproofing liquid 25 square meters. For miscellaneous hardwares, we have metal structure accessories 1 lump sum, metal structure accessories steel plates 378 kilograms, structural steel and railings, we have 1 lump sum each item. And electrical works, we have conduits, boxes and fittings, conduit works, conduit racking, wires and wiring devices, lighting fixtures, all items are in 1 lump sum. And for our painting works, we have painting works masonry concrete 161.1 square meters, painting works steel 119.8 square meters. And that's all for this project. Let's proceed to the next project, 26HA0028, with the project title of Construction Completion of Multipurpose Building Covered Court, Barangay Bagtic, Catigbian, Bohol, with coordinates of 9.84296271839134 and 124.05770949368187. The project location is in Catigbian, Bohol, with a contract duration of 90 calendar days. This project has an allocation of 2 million and approved budget of the contract of 1,980,000. Let's proceed for the scope of work for this project. We have provision of field office for the engineer rental basis, operation and maintenance of field office for the engineer, 3 months ang ilang quantity for each item. Permits and clearances, occupational safety and health and mobilization, demobilization, each item have 1 lump sum. Project billboard 2 each. For the next earthworks, removal of structures and obstruction 1 lump sum. Structure excavation common soil 8.3 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway structure excavation common soil 4.5 cubic meter. Embankment from barrow common soil 50 cubic meter. Gravel field 4.4 cubic meter. For reinforced concrete works, we have structural concrete 3,000 psi class A 28 days 10.5 cubic meter. Reinforcing steel deformed weight 980.9 kilograms. Reinforcing steel deformed grade 60, 559 kilograms. For works and false works, 134.5 square meters. For masonry works, we have CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel 100 mm, 105.4 square meters. For our carpentry and joinery works, we have ceiling 4.5 mm metal frame fiber cement board 50 square meters. For our finishing works, we have cement plaster finish 260.6 square meters. Miscellaneous hardwares, we have metal structure accessories for lump sum, metal structure accessories steel plates 66.5 kilograms, structural steel 1 lump sum, structural steel trusses 958.5 kilograms, structural steel purlins 373 kilograms. For our roofing works, we have fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 26.551 mm flushing 41.6 linear meter, fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 24.701 mm gutters 16.8 linear meter, pre-painted metal sheets above 0.427 mm corrugated long span 68.9 square meters. For our doors and windows, we have finishing hardware 1 lump sum, frames, jambs, seals, lead, transoms, and mullions 4 sets, doors, flash 2.9 square meters, doors, wood panel 3.4 square meters, aluminum glass windows, casement type 2.4 square meters, aluminum glass windows, awning type 1.4 square meters. For our electrical works, we have conduits, boxes, and fittings, conduit works, conduit wrapping 1 lump sum, wires and wiring devices, panel board with main and branch breakers. All items are in 1 lump sum. Lighting fixtures, 1 lump sum. And for our painting works, we have painting works masonry concrete, 260.6 square meters, painting works wood, 10.3 square meters, painting works steel, 145.3 square meters. And that's all for this project. Let's proceed to the next project, 26HA0029. With project name of construction of multipurpose building covered for Barangay Quinapon-an, Barangay Angilan, Barangay Tagubaas, and Barangay Bicahan, Antequera, Bohol. With coordinates of Quinapon-an 9.82747 north, 123.901368 east, Angilan with coordinates of 9.780011 north, and 123.932471 east, Tagubaas 9.785732 north, 123.881446 east, Bicahan 9.792199 north, 123.923287 east. The project location is in Antequera, Bohol, with a contract duration of 255 calendar days. This project has an allocation of 16 million and approved budget of the contract of 15,840,000. And for the scope of work for this project, we have provision of field office for the engineer rental basis, operation and maintenance of field office for the engineer, 8.5 months ang quantity for that item. Permits and clearances, 1 lump sum, project billboard, signboard to each, occupational safety and health mobilization, demobilization, each item have 1 lump sum quantity. For our earthworks, we have structure excavation, hard rock, 176.5 cubic meter, embankment from roadway structure excavation, hard rock, 116.1 cubic meter, embankment from Barangay common soil, 195.8 cubic meter, gravel field, 36.1 cubic meter. Reinforced concrete works, we have structural concrete 3000 psi class A, 28 days, 138.1 cubic meter. Reinforcing steel, deformed grade 40, 6,290.4 kilograms. And next is reinforcing steel, deformed grade 60, 10,171 kilograms. Formworks and falseworks, 502 square meter. For our masonry works, we have CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel, 150 mm, 24.6 square meters. For our finishing works, we have cement plaster finish, 146.4 square meters. For our miscellaneous hardwares, we have metal structure accessories, 1 lump sum, metal structure accessories turnbuckle, 124 each, metal structure accessories cross bracings, 1,714.8 kilograms, metal structure accessories steel plates, 6,105.5 kilograms, structural steel, 1 lump sum. Structural steel trusses, 28,793.3 kilograms. Structural steel purlins, 5,849.1 kilograms. And for our roofing works, we have fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 26.551 mm flushing, 149.2 linear meter. Pre-painted metal sheets above 0.427 mm corrugated long span, 1,528.1 square meters. And for our electrical works, we have conduits, boxes and fittings, conduit works, conduit wrap-in, wires and wiring devices, panel board with main and branch breakers, lighting fixtures. All items are in one lump sum. For our painting works, and the last item for this project, painting works still 3,111.4 square meters. And let's proceed to the last contract. We have contract 26HA, contract ID 26HA0030 with project title of Construction Completion of Multipurpose Building Covered Court Barangay Rizal, Barangay Catigbian, and Barangay Maribojoc with project coordinates of Rizal 9.6589578492590377 and 133-9072782579957 East, Contact 9.67147847034579 North, 133-946-9093218415 East, Pandol 9.70-091742323098 North, and 123.9275416115090 East. Project location is in Bohol. Project duration is 120 calendar days. This project has an allocation of 6 million and approved budget of the contract of 5,940,000. And for the scope of work for this project, we have provision of field office for the engineer, rental basis, operation and maintenance of field office for the engineer. All items are in 4 months of quantity. For other general requirements, project labor design work each, occupational safety and health, mobilization and demobilization, 1 lump sum ang ilang quantity. For our earthworks, we have structural excavation soft rock 42.2 cubic meter, embankment from roadway structural excavation soft rock 19.6 cubic meter, embankment from borrow common soil 45.7 cubic meter, gravel field 2.9 cubic meter. And for our reinforced concrete works, we have grouted brick rock on class A 21.9 cubic meter, structural concrete 3,000 PSI class A 28 days 107 cubic meter, reinforcing steel deformed grade 40 7,070.1 kilograms, reinforcing steel deformed grade 60 5,369.4 kilograms. For works and false works 396.1 square meters. And for our miscellaneous hardwares, we have metal structure accessories 1 lump sum, metal structure accessories turnbuckle 4 each, metal structure accessories cross bracing 47.4 kilograms, metal structure accessories steel plates 813.8 kilograms, structural steel 1 lump sum, structural steel trusses 17 kilograms, structural steel purlins 993.7 kilograms. For our roofing works, we have fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 26.551 mm ridge, heat rules 7 linear meter. Fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 26.551 mm flushing, 55.5 linear meter. Fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 24.701 mm gutters, 32.5 linear meters. Pre-painted metal sheets above 0.427 mm lead type, long span 191.9 square meters. And for our painting works steel 901.9 square meters. And for the last item, textured finish 784 square meters. And that's all for that for these projects, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Engineer Angilan. Is there any questions and comments from our prospective bidders and our bank members? Hearing none, we will proceed to the next agenda, which is the requirements of bidding documents for civil works. We will review requirements of bidding documents. First, the contractor shall use the prescribed standard forms posted in the PhilJobs and DPWH website and issued in the bid documents. The bidders are encouraged to have have their bid documents neatly bound, paginated, properly sequenced, and provided with simple ear tags to facilitate examination of the bids. Each bidder shall submit one original of the technical proposal and one original of the financial proposal and clearly mark each as original technical proposal and original financial proposal. In addition, the bidder shall submit one copy of the technical proposal and the financial proposal and clearly mark them copy number 1 technical proposal and copy number 1 financial proposal. Bidders shall enclose their technical documents in one sealed envelope marked technical component and the financial component in another sealed envelope marked financial component, sealing them in an outer envelope marked bid. In the event of any discrepancy between the original and the copies, the original shall prevail. The bid shall be typed or written in ink and shall be signed by the bidder or his duly authorized representative or representatives. All envelopes shall, letter A, contain the name of the contract to be bid in capital letters. Letter B, bear the name and address of the bidder in capital letters. Letter C, be addressed to the procuring entity's staff. And letter D, bear the specific identification of this bidding process. And letter E, bear a warning, do not open the date and time for the opening of bids. Is there any questions or comments from our prospective bidders and non-members? Hearing none, let's proceed to the next agenda, which is the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award. For the criteria for eligibility screening, to be eligible for the contract, a contractor must meet the following eligibility requirements. Letter A, Filipino, citizen, and or sole proprietorships, cooperatives, and partnerships or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines. Letter B, net financial contracting capacity, NFCC, shall at least equal to the ABC. Letter C, single largest completed contract, SLCC. Completion of similar contract costing at least 50% of the ABC within 5 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids. Letter B, registered with and classified by the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board, PICA, with PICA license category depending on the approved budget for the contract. For the following contract IDs, which is 26HA0024 with an ABC of 1,980,000, required license category is small b. For contract ID 26HA0025 with an ABC of 3,960,000, required license category is still small b. For 26HA0026, ABC is 3,960,000. Required license category is small b. For contract ID number 26HA0027 with ABC of 1,980,000, required license category is small b. For 26HA0028 with ABC 1,980,000, still required license category is small b. For contract ID number 26HA0029 with an ABC of 15,840,000, license required category is still small b. And for 26HA0030 with an ABC of 5,940,000, required license category is still small b. Contractors under small a and small b categories without similar experience on the contract to be bid may be allowed to bid if the cost of such contract is not more than the allowable range of contract cost, open close parenthesis ARCC, of the registration based on the guidelines as prescribed by the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PICA. Eligibility screening will be conducted electronically in the district office by the BAC with the assistance of the Technical Working Group (TWG) using the Civil Works application. Explanation of criteria for examination of bids. The DPWH will use non-discretionary pass-fail criteria in the preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, and post-qualification process. If the Bids and Awards Committee, or BAC, determines that the bidder with the LCP passes all the criteria for post-qualification, it shall declare the said bid as the lowest calculated responsive bid, LCRB, and shall recommend to the home the award of contract to the said bidder. Explanation of criteria for the awarding of contracts. The award criterion for all the projects will be LCRB, or lowest calculated responsive bid. The bidder with the lowest calculated responsive bid will be required to submit to the procuring entity within 10 calendar days from his receipt of the notice of award the following documents. Letter A, authority or signing official or board resolution with secretary certificate. Letter B, performance security. Letter C, construction methods. Letter D, construction schedule in the form of per CPM diagram or precedence diagram and bar chart with S-curve and cash flow. Letter E, manpower schedule. Letter F, equipment utilization schedule. Letter G, contractors all risk insurance and or open post creditors. Letter H, latest income tax and business returns. Letter I, for a local contractor, certification under oath stating that the contractor is free and clean of all tax liabilities. Letter J, submission of the construction safety and health program shall be in accordance with DEO number 241 series of 2024. DEO number 241 series of 2024 guidelines on the processing, approval, and reporting system of construction safety and health program (CSHP) for DPWH infrastructure projects. The contractor shall submit the CSHP not later than 3 calendar days from the issuance of NOAA to give time for its evaluation and approval. The head of the IO, upon the recommendation of the CSHP focal person, shall approve the CSHP not later than 7 calendar days from the issuance of NOAA to the contractor. The DPWH approves CSHP is requirement for the processing and approval of the contract agreement. Moreover, no claims by the contractor, advance payment, first progress billing shall be processed and paid without the submission of DPWH approved CSHP. The DPWH will only approve CSHPs through a form prescribed by the DOLE if found in order. The DPWH project shall not be implemented without the approved construction safety and health program by the head of the department DPWH implementing office. In the case of failure, refusal, or inability of the bidder with the lowest calculated responsive bid to submit the required documents within the prescribed period through its own fault, the BAC will be constrained to disqualify the said bidder and shall initiate and complete the post-qualification process on the bidder with the second lowest calculated bid. Is there any questions or comments from the prospective bidders and BAC members? Hearing none, we'll proceed to the next. Documents to be submitted by the bidder and reminders on the submission of bids or seal bids. Technical proposal. The technical proposal shall contain but not limited to the following: valid and updated PhilJIP certificate of registration, open closed parenthesis, platinum membership. The PhilJIP certificate of platinum registration and membership must be updated with the current Class A eligibility documents covered under Section 20.2.9.1 of the IRR of RA 12009. Failure to comply results in the automatic suspension of its validity. Moreover, the submission of updated Class A documents, example, registration, certificate, mayor certificate, business permit, tax clearance, PCAM license, and audited financial statements as part of the bid is no longer acceptable. Technical proposal still shall contain, but not limited to the following: PCAM license and registration in case of joint venture, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Statement of the bidder's SLCC similar to the procurement project. The SLCC shall be supported by an owner's certificate of financial acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the contractor's performance evaluation system, or CPES, or a similar performance and monitoring system. In case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. The bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity, NFCC, with his audited financial statement duly stamped received by the BIR or each authorized institutions or electronic submissions, e-submission with BIR confirmation receipts are accepted. Joint venture agreement, if applicable. Bid security in the prescribed form, amount, and validity period. The bidder may submit a bid securing declaration or any form of bid security in the amount equal to a percentage of the approved budget for the contract in accordance with the following amounts. Acceptable forms of bid securities in the form of first, cash or cashier's manager's check issued by a bank with a minimum amount of 2% of the ABC. Second, bank draft or guarantee of or irrevocable letter of credit issued by a bank, provided however that it shall be confirmed or authenticated by a bank if issued by a foreign bank with a minimum amount of 5% of ABC. And third, surety bond callable on demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security in the amount of 5% of the ABC. Project requirements. First, the organizational chart for the contract and not the firm's organizational chart. The organizational chart shall reflect the key personnel assigned to the contract. Second, list of contractors' key personnel, the project engineer, project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, safety officer, foreman, and first aider, to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data. Also to be attached are the letter of nominee, certificate of employment, and value data for each pledged key personnel. The minimum work experience requirement for the key personnel are the following. For the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officers, the minimum year of similar experience is 3 years. And the minimum years of total work experience for the same position is 5 years. For the first aider, the minimum year is 2, and the minimum number of years for the total work experience is also 2. The experience means a total year of civil works experience of any nature in construction and engineering works and or consultancy services. This includes tax identification number of all the key personnel in the biodata. Additional requirements for the project engineer are a photocopy of the current and valid PRC license, proof of DPWH accreditation as PE, to include the contract number of the PE in the biodata. Contact number. Additional requirements for the materials engineer will be the DPWH accreditation certificate as ME, a photocopy of the current and valid PRC license, which includes a contact number of the materials engineer in the biodata. Additional requirements for the safety officer is a photocopy of the certificate of training and or completion of construction and safety health course for site safety engineers. Additional requirement for first aider is a photocopy of the certificate of training. For Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012, wherein it states among others that Item 6, a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the time of the bidding. The bidder shall submit a certification that, first, the personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and second, he or she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. Item 7, the bidder may propose a key technical personnel who is not its employee, provided that the said personnel is required to submit a certification that he or she will work for the bidder if it is awarded the contract under bidding. The certification under item 6 or item 7 shall be included in the first envelope of the sealed bid. Department Order Number 227, Series of 2024, Suspension of Department Order Number 148, Series of 2024. In order to address the foreseen delay in the implementation of new infrastructure projects due to the unavailability of DPWH accredited project engineers who are currently assigned to contractors and consultants to ongoing projects, the implementation of the Department Order Number 148, Series of 2024, Guidelines in the accreditation and assignment of contractors and consultants project engineers is hereby suspended until further notice. This directive to suspend the application of DEO number 148 series of 2024 shall not apply to the implementation and construction of buildings and bridges. Thus, for construction of buildings and bridges, accredited project engineers shall be assigned by contractors and/or consultants. DO number 43, series of 2026, interim guidelines on the utilization of construction material prices and equipment rental rates amid fuel price volatility and its effect to project cost estimates. Section 4.2, projects already advertised. For projects that have already been advertised for procurement, the bidding process shall proceed in accordance with the existing procurement rules and procedures. In case of bidding failure due to an insufficient ABC resulting from updated or pre-trading market prices, the concerned implementing office may undertake the necessary revalidation and reprogramming of the cost estimates using updated and appropriate price references as in Section 4.1 of these guidelines, consistent with the provisions of this policy, directive, and other application policies of this department. Section 4.3, projects under contract perfection. For projects under contract perfection, with issued resolution and/or notice of award, any increase in construction costs arising from fuel price volatility shall be addressed through price escalation claims during project implementation, in accordance with the applicable provisions of the existing government procurement law and its implementing rules and regulations, as well as any other relevant guidelines issued by the department. Project requirements. 3. Still in project requirements. Number 3. List of contractors, major construction and laboratory equipment units to be assigned to the contract, supported by certificates of availability using the prescribed format, which are owned, leased, and/or under purchase agreement supported by proof of ownership and certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor and/or vendor for the duration of the project, and certifications for the vendors of the equipment units under purchase agreement shall be available for this contract. The contractor shall also have a point of reference for this equipment or indicate the location for verification. The contractor shall include his laboratory equipment to be pledged to the contract. The list of laboratory apparatus equipment should be enumerated in detail. Fourth, the omnibus sworn statement in the prescribed form. Fifth, the ISO 9001-2015 certification for DO number 1110 series of 2024 for contracts with pickup sizes ranges of medium 8 and above. Number 6, as per enumerated, unnumbered memorandum dated February 24, series of 2026, sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership shall no longer be required. In lieu thereof, the bidder shall submit his latest general information sheet (GIS) reflecting the beneficial ownership information (BOI), duly filed with stamp received by the Securities and Exchange Commission, applicable to entities classified under Section 82 of the IRR of RA 12009, such as corporations, partnerships, private sector organizations, foundations, and associations. For the financial proposal shall contain but not limited to the following: duly signed bid for, bid prices in the bill of quantities, detailed estimates, summary of labor rates, unit prices, and equipment rates, and cash flow by quarter or month. For DO number 30, series of 2025, guidelines in the preparation of programs of work and approved budget for the contract to be used by the contractors in the preparation of their unit prices. The following items shall not be subjected to overhead contingencies and miscellaneous and profit markup are mobilization and demobilization, provision of service vehicle, permits and clearances. The following also are non-civil work items shall not be subject to OCM markup are field laboratory office and living quarters, rental basis, furnishing of furniture, laboratory equipment, survey equipment and consumables, assistance to the engineers, photographs, health and safety, traffic management, environmental compliance, communications, equipment, and others. Percentage to be used for OCM and profit markup. For estimated direct cost of up to 5 million, the indirect cost for OCM and profit, OCM is 50%, profit is 10%, with a total indirect cost of 25% for OCM and profit. Above 5 million and up to 50 million, OCM is 12% and profit is 8% with a total of 20%. For above 50 million up to 150 million, OCM is 10% and profit is 8% with a total for indirect cost, OCM and profit of 18%. For above 150 million, the OCM is 8%, profit is 8%, with a total indirect cost for OCM and profit of 16%. For unnumbered memorandum dated July 15, 2025, value-added tax component shall be 12%. Shown below are the dates of availability for the bidding documents that may be acquired by interested bidders and its corresponding applicable fee. For contract ID number 26HA0024, applicable fee of 5,000. For 26HA0025, still the applicable fee is 5,000. And so also with 26HA0026 and 0027 and 0028, applicable fee are all 5,000, except for 26HA0029, which is 25,000. And for 26HA0030, which is 10,000, with dates of availability for the bidding documents of all projects discussed in this pre-bidding conference is available on the 30th of April up to the 19th of April 2026 until 10 a.m. only. Upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the Government Procurement Policy Board, the interested bidder shall get the bidding documents from the Procurement Staff Office of DPWH Bohol, 1st DEO, the O District, Tagbilaran City, Bohol. Bid submission may be done manually or electronically online. However, bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. Similar to the manual submission, the guidelines for the preparation of the submission of an electronic bid are contained in the bidding documents. Bid should be submitted by the bidder himself or his authorized licensed officer, as provided in Section 54.1 of the IRR of RA 12009. Bidders shall submit their bids through their respective duly authorized representatives. To further clarify, the bidder's representative must be named in the contractor's registration certificate, CRC, recorded in the DPWH Civil Works Application, CWA. Otherwise, there must be a duly signed and authorized special power of attorney or sole proprietorship or board partnership joint venture resolution with secretary certificate or corporation, partnership, joint venture, and cooperative. That is project-specific, presented in hard copy, and a soft copy thereof must also be emailed to racines.mary_noelen@dpwh.gov.ph using the official email of the bidder registered in the CWA for verification. Failure to send a copy of the documents mentioned above from the official CWA registered email address of the bidder shall result in the bidder not being issued an order of payment nor being allowed to submit and/or drop bid proposals. Bids must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat for manual submission or at electronic bids_bohol1@dpwh.gov.ph for electronic submission on a schedule on or before 12 noon of May 19, 2026. Late bids shall not be accepted. Bid opening shall be on May 19, 2026, 1:30 p.m. at the BAC Conference Room, DPWH Bohol, 1st DEO, the O District, Tagbilaran City, Bohol, and shall be live streamed to our YouTube channel. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend the opening of bids. Is there any questions and comments from the prospective bidders and BAC members? Hearing none, we'll proceed to the next. Common reasons for bidders disqualification. During preliminary examination of bids, reasons will be lacking documents and or requirements, lacking documentary requirements, unnotarized documents, expired legal documents such as PLJEP certificate, pickup license, mayor's permit, and tax clearance certificate. During detailed evaluation of bids, reasons for disqualifications might be as calculated evaluated amount exceeding the ABC, incomplete and or incorrect pay items of work. During post-qualification process, pledge equipment does not meet the minimum requirements specified in the bidding documents. Failure to attach proof of ownership or lease agreement or purchase agreement on pledge equipment, and expired accreditation of project engineer or materials engineer. For Department Order Number 28 Series of 2024, 3-strike policy, the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services contracts, wherein it states among others that the following are the classification of offenses that triggers 3-strike policy: withdrawal from the bidding process, submission of a non-participation letter, or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid documents, submission of late bids without valid reasons as determined by the BAC, and submission of patently insufficient bid. This is in accordance with 2016 RIRR of Article 184 and has not yet been superseded. Is there any questions and comments from our prospective bidders and BAC members? Hearing none, we'll proceed to other matters. Emphasis on Section 61.1 of the IRR of RA 12009. Members of the BAC, its staff and personnel, secretariat, and TWG, as well as observers, are prohibited from making or accepting any communication with any bidder regarding the evaluation of their bids until the issuance of the notice of award. However, the BAC, through its secretariat, may ask the bidder in writing for clarification of its bid. All responses to requests for clarification shall be in writing. The DPWH Bohol 1st District Engineering Office reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA 12009 and its IRR without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. the abrupt fuel price increases affecting materials and equipment costs, there will be possible postponement of the procurement schedule and revision of the bidding documents. For the summary of proceedings, including supplemental bid bulletins to be issued, in connection with the possible postponement of the procurement schedule and revision of the bidding documents, the interested bidder should monitor possible issuance of supplemental bids and bulletins. For further information, please refer to Engineer Mary Novelin F. Racines, Engineer 3, Procurement Head of Box Secretariat, Procurement Staff, DPWH Bohol, 1st District Engineering Office, the O District, Tagbilaran City, Bohol, 6300, phone number 038-422-8317, local 62030, and email address at racines.mary_noel@dpwh.gov.ph. And Engineer Julius SRG Cadao, Engineer 3, Chief Planning and Design Section Chairman, Bids and Awards Committee, DPWH Bohol, 1st District Engineering Office, the O District, Tagbilaran City, Bohol, 6300, with telephone number 038-422-83719, local 62021, and an email address at cadao.julius_cesar@dpwh.gov.ph. That ends our pre-bidding conference for Civil Works Project. This is Engineer Josephine Basho, the Vice Chair of Bids and Awards Committee in Bohol, 1st District Engineering Office. Thank you and good morning.